You've clicked on this video because you're tired of being stuck in the endless loop of procrastination, watching your grades suffer because your study habits just aren't cutting it. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down a step-by-step guide that will transform the way you study, boosting your efficiency and helping you finally achieve the grades you deserve. Step 1. Understand what you're dealing with. First things first, know your game. I'm not talking about memorizing every little detail like a zombie out of a bad horror movie. I'm talking about understanding the structure of your courses, the expectations of your teachers, and the grading system. This isn't rocket science, it's about strategy. If you don't know what's expected of you, you're basically setting yourself up for failure, like an idiot trying to play chess without knowing the rules. So ask yourself, what counts for the grade? Is it homework, quizzes, projects, or that dreaded exam at the end of the term? Once you have that information, you can allocate your precious, limited time where it matters most. You'd be surprised how many students treat every assignment as if it were the only thing in the world, when in reality, some tasks have a minimal impact on your final mark. Step 2. Master the art of prioritization. I know some of you might be thinking, but teacher, isn't all studying equally important? Well, let me tell you something. Not all studying is created equal. You need to prioritize based on impact and your strengths. Identify the subjects or topics where you're naturally brilliant, and then allocate minimal effort to maintain that brilliance. For the subjects where you're a total disaster, you might actually have to put in more work. But even then, focus on high-yield topics rather than drowning in every tiny detail. Here's a practical tip. Make a list of all your subjects and rank them by importance and difficulty. Then schedule your study time accordingly. Spend, say, 70% of your time on those subjects where every point counts, and 30% on the ones where you can coast by with just a little bit of knowledge. And if you're already good at something, don't overdo it. You're not training for the Olympics, you're just trying to pass school with a perfect score. If you're doing something trivial, then stop overthinking it. Save your brain cells for the stuff that matters. Step 3. Leverage active learning over passive drudgery. Now let's talk about studying smarter, not harder. Embrace active learning techniques. This means engaging with the material actively rather than passively reading your textbook like it's bedtime reading. Active learning can be things like summarizing what you've read in your own words, teaching the concept to a friend, even if that friend is an equally clueless idiot, or even using flashcards. One effective method is the Feynman technique, named after the brilliant physicist Richard Feynman. Try to explain a concept in simple terms as if you were teaching someone who's never heard of it. If you can do that, you really understand it. And if you can't, well, then you probably need to stop pretending that you understand everything. It's amazing how much studying you save by simply explaining things to yourself, and you might just impress your teachers with your newfound clarity. Remember, clarity beats confusion every time. Step 4. Develop a solid routine. Even if you're a self-proclaimed slacker, I know what some of you are thinking. Routine? That sounds boring. But let's get real. Routines are not just for your overly organized robot-like classmates. A routine is your secret weapon for success. It's not about staying up all night, it's about regular, consistent, and focused bursts of study time. Find a time of day when you're actually awake and not distracted by the endless barrage of memes on your phone. Some people are morning birds, some are night owls. Just figure out what works for you. Set aside a specific time slot every day, dedicated solely to studying. And yes, I'm aware that some of you think you're too cool for a schedule by Chutney, but trust me on this one. A schedule is like a cheat code in a video game. It lets you bypass a lot of unnecessary stress and confusion. For instance, if you can study in 25-minute blocks with 5-minute breaks, a technique known as the Pomodoro technique, you might find that you actually retain more information without feeling like you're drowning in work. Use an app, a timer, or even an egg timer if that's what it takes. Just get into the habit of regular focused study sessions and you'll see a dramatic improvement in your understanding and retention of material. Step 5. Use technology wisely and stop wasting time on social media. Here's another piece of advice for you slackers. Your phone is both your best friend and your worst enemy. Yes, it can be a powerful tool for learning if you use it right. There are countless apps out there for flashcards, note-taking, time management, and even collaborative studying. Use them to your advantage, but here's the catch. If you're constantly scrolling through Instagram or TikTok, you're just sabotaging your own potential. Step 7. Don't underestimate the power of rest and nutrition. I know this might sound like something your grandmother would say, but get this through your thick skull. Your brain needs fuel. If you're burning the midnight oil and subsisting on junk food and caffeine, you're setting yourself up for failure. Your mind is not an endless well of energy. A tired brain is a forgetful brain, and a hangry brain is a downright disastrous brain. Ensure you get enough sleep. No, 2 hours of sleep and a Red Bull will not cut it. Aim for a solid 7 to 8 hours per night. Eat well and try to incorporate foods that are good for brain function. I'm not saying you need to become a rabbit nibbling on lettuce all day, but don't go overboard with pizza and soda either. Your grades depend on a healthy, functioning brain, so take care of it. Step 8. Practice smart exam strategies. Exams are coming whether you like it or not. Instead of spending countless hours trying to reread every single note and probably memorizing information you'll forget the next day, focus on smart exam strategies. For starters, practice past exam papers or sample questions. This helps you get a feel for the format, the common topics, and the trick questions that teachers love to throw in just to see if you're paying attention. During the exam, read through the entire paper first and then decide which questions to tackle first. If you encounter a difficult problem, don't waste precious minutes banging your head against it. Move on and come back later. This way, you maximize your time and ensure you're not stuck on one question for too long. It's about working smart, not working yourself to the point of exhaustion. Also, double-check your work if time permits. It's easy to lose marks over silly mistakes, and I'd hate to see you screw up because you were too rushed. A few minutes at the end to review your answers could be the difference between 98% and that coveted 100%. Step 9. Ask for help when you need it. I can't stress this enough. If you're struggling with something, ask for help. I don't care if you're too proud to admit that you're confused or if you're worried about looking like an idiot. Trust me, pretending you understand everything when you don't is a recipe for disaster. Whether it's asking help from a classmate or even hiring a tutor, get the help you need. There's no shame in admitting that you need assistance unless you're too stubborn to learn. And let's face it, if you're so proud that you'd rather fail than ask for help, then you're already on the wrong path. Embrace your inner student, ask questions, and make sure you're never left in the dark. Remember, every expert was once a beginner who asked stupid questions. Step 10. Keep a positive mindset and manage stress. I know. Life is stressful, and sometimes the pressure of achieving that 100% can be overwhelming. But here's a reality check. Stress won't help you ace your exams, and it certainly won't make you any smarter. Instead, develop strategies to manage stress effectively. This could be exercise, meditation, or even just taking a break to watch a funny video, but don't end up in the loop. Keep in mind that a positive mindset is crucial. Believe in your ability to succeed, and don't let one bad grade or one tough exam bring you down. Sometimes, a setback is just a setup for a comeback. If you can maintain a healthy perspective and keep your stress levels in check, you'll perform better not just in school, but in life. Alright, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video and found some value in my no-nonsense advice, go ahead and hit that like button and follow. Now get out there, work smart, and show those tests who's boss.